Here we are, another day on planet Earth. I don't know why, but it's a natural reaction of people to enjoy getting all their toys out to play with, but not looking forward to putting them all away afterwards. And this is what I'm laid here thinking about. Do I really have to get out of this nice warm sleeping bag and start packing things away? Well, I managed to get out the tent. This camping for an 18-year-old looks pretty easy. But when you get to my age and you've abused your body most of your life and everything hurts and aches and won't bend, you find difficulties. And you go back to being a child, trying to find ways to achieve things. And my problem is, I couldn't get my socks on. So I've had to come out, find a rock, managed to get into my boots by jumping into them more or less. I'm hoping that being on this rock, I'll be able to get my foot up high enough to get my sock on. Without this rock, I could have been going sockless. Thank goodness I kept these thin liners on last night. Oh, go on, go on, go on, you can do it. Whoa. Yeah. So if you're in your 60s, going on 70s, just bear this in mind before you set off. Right, first thing we're going to do is pack our kit away, and I'm going to take the basher down. That was there for us to get underneath if it was raining to pack our kit away, but it's dry, so I'm going to take it down and I'm going to lay it out. One of the important things to remember when you're out living like this in the wilds, again I use that term loosely, we're only in Scotland, is not to lose any of your kit, because if you do lose some, you're not going to find it again. It's not out here anyway. So I'm going to lay all my kit out on the basher, and it's going to be the last thing that I pack, and hopefully, not a very positive word hopefully, but hopefully I will have everything back in the rucksack that came out of it. Now, just in case I'm confusing anybody by using the term basher in one sentence and tarp in another, they're both the same thing. The word basher comes from northern India. People live up there, they use it as a word meaning hut or shelter. And they think the British got the term from the Chindits in Burma. This is where the British troops were organising the guerrillas, not the type. These are the guerrillas that go around killing the guys that we don't get on with. And the Chindits use this term for the temporary shelters that they built. So the British Army, armed with a tarp each, they adopted that term. And so now any type of canvas shelter could be termed as a basher or a tarp. Simple. When you're putting your kit away, you always want to put it away as tidy as possible and make it as easy as possible for you to get it out quickly and efficiently. If we camp up tonight and it's chucking it down with rain, I don't want to be untangling guy ropes. So I wind them up like this, and this was taught me on the very first day, in the very first hour of a survival course I was on by a guy called Andy Wood, who works for True Waste Survival. And he just showed us to open your hands like that, feed it through and crisscross the cord like that. I've only got small hands, but if you've got big hands it works better. Take that off there. Whoops, try and wiggle my thumb out without losing the whole lot. I've got a nice grip on it, and now I'm going to wrap that round there, and then at the end I'm going to put my finger there, create a loop, whoops, feed that through there like that, and it's all wrapped away nice and tidy. But the great thing about doing that crisscross is that when you come to open it, it'll be difficult to show you sat down, but if I was stood up this would literally concertina out. But all I've got to do is pull that and the whole lot comes out completely untangled, ready for use. Next tip, if you're going to buy a head torch for backpacking, this type of thing, make sure you get one that's got a lock on it. I've learnt a lot of things from all the mistakes I've made, and I remember waking up one night only to find out that my torch batteries were dead, simply because the torch had got clicked on while it was in the rucksack. So this torch has a lock. You just simply press, hold for a few seconds, it starts to flash blue like that, and the lock's on. So until you hold it down for another 3, 4, 5 seconds, I'm not sure how long it is, this torch won't come on. So I know those batteries are going to be good when I need them later on when it gets dark. Quick look around, cannot see we've left anything. Not sure where we're going exactly, but we'll see where the road leads us. And before you say you forgot your map, not this time. Our first target is the top of the hill, directly in front of us. Not necessarily the actual peak, but somewhere in that general direction. Just come off the road now. I'm hoping I can find my way up to the main road where I need to cross by cutting through here. If I can't, it's going to be a long walk round on the road. I need to cross a stream, and you can clearly see that the track's been beaten down by something here, and at the bottom there's a nice crossing place. Ready? Yep. Now I'm in a swamp. Oh dear me. times like this when I wish I'd got the other boots. You can see I'm trying to stand on the heads of things like that. So what we're trying to achieve is, I've come off the road here, I've got across this stream, I'm now at the foot of this steep sided hill, and I want to try and stay with that. So if I hit any more boggy bits, I've got the option to climb a little bit and hopefully stay dry. This is not easy. As suspected, it's too boggy in the bottom. I just have to be very careful traversing this slope because it's steep, which is why I've wedged my rucksack in between two trees. I don't want to be having to walk back down there to retrieve it. So a bit of sunshine come through, so I'm going to sit here, have a little rest, and I'm hoping that I'm about 2/3 of the way there. I could check on my GPS, it's on the rucksack, but don't really matter how far it is. I've got to keep going till I get to the end anyway. For anybody who's seen Lawrence of Arabia film, there's a scene in there where he's been struggling across the desert for days and all he can see is sand, and then suddenly in front of him passes a ship and he thinks, yes, I've made it. Well, that's how I feel now. Just came walking through here thinking one more hill maybe. There you have it, the road. Not that you know it was there. Let's be honest, I knew it was there somewhere because I'd already worked out a bearing on the map, and I knew that if I kept struggling through there I would hit it within the next 400 yards. So not as lucky as I might make out. And that's where we just come from. Doesn't look far away. I don't ever want to go in there again. Right, I'm going to follow this road and see if I can find a track somewhere. Okay, where are we now? Nice view. Oh, not such a nice view. I've been walking around for about 4 hours now. Up hills, down hills, through bogs, and I can't go much further. I've just found another footpath, which is better than no footpath. I'm going to do this one last go. I'm going to keep following it up. I've had to stop because if I didn't stop I was going to fall over. If there's nowhere at the top of here to get the tent up, I'm not sure what we're going to do. So If you don't hear from me again, it's probably because I've dropped dead of a heart attack before I got to the top. Okay. Not really got any energy to say anything else, so I'm switching off. It's a different sitting down place. I'm in a bit of a predicament. I'm having to sit down every 50 metres. We're going up. The only alternative is to quit and turn round and go back down. But I don't want to give in until I've actually got to the top. If I get to the top and there's nowhere I can put my tent down, then I'll give up. But even if I've got to stop every 10 metres, we ain't stopping till I get to the top. Here we go again. Well, camp's all set up. I'm knackered. I think what we've learnt today is that Clarky's not as fit as he thought he was. But now I'm here. It's not ideal. I've got heather and bristles of this and bristles of that sticking up my bum in the tent, but I don't care because I can lie down and I don't have to go any further up this hill. But was it all worth it? As usual, the question is, paying against, was it worth it? Well, let me show you the view and see what you think. For a view like that, maybe it was. So I'm going to put the camera away now. And this might be the end of filming if this moisture thing doesn't clear itself up. But at least you can tell people I died happy if I don't come back. Here we are. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's now I can reflect on all the decisions I made or had to make that were a little bit different to normal life. First one was, should I have tried to walk up this hill? Well, as I've made it, yes, but could have done with a lighter pack. To help me out with that, I had to decide how much water to carry up here with me. I have got extra capacity for water, but I decided to bring just enough for drinking. That meant I had to decide on the food. We know that the pan's buggered, so I didn't want to pour my packed food into that and be eating artificial Teflon with it. So I could have boiled the food in the bag, but again I'd have had to carry extra water up here. So I made the decision to not cook anything, which is why I always carry quite a few energy bars and snack bars with me. On a survival course I went on one time, they ran you down food wise for the first 3 days, and then on the last 36 hours you had to perform various tasks which involved not getting a lot of sleep, and they gave you 2 Snicker bars to last you 36 hours. which I cut into several chunks and ate one chunk every 4 hours. So I figured I could manage one night up here with my energy bars. So all in all, it's been a long 12 hours. My back's stiff. Somewhere in the night I've wrecked my neck. I don't think what I've done, and so I'm not as comfortable as I'd like to be. But having said that, compared to how I felt trying to carry this pack up this hill, I feel pretty good. So I'm going to get my head down and hang out here until it gets daylight, and hopefully, if the rain stops, it is still actually raining gently now, I will get myself up and move on. I should mention one thing that is always a pain. Because I'm moving on, I haven't bothered bringing my little bottle to use if I need a wee in the night. So since 3 o'clock I've been sat here busting for a wee, waiting for the rain to ease off, which is why I'm up now. I've just poked my head out of the tent, and you think, well, where do you go? Well, just at the side of the tent. At the end of the day, all that rain's going to wash it away, and if that Bear Grylls bloke can keep drinking it, I figure me paddling around in a bit of it isn't going to do me any harm. Anyway, we're back in bed, we're nicely tucked up, so we'll settle down for a couple more hours. Jesus. It's got to be worth it for that. What a beautiful morning. Okay, so we're going to pack away, and I'm going to make my way back to the car, and then I'm going to do a little bit of touring of this forest drive that we were walking on yesterday. It seems almost impossible to go off-road anywhere here without struggling. So I'm going to go and see if I can scope out a few sites for future visits, but I'm going to do it in the car and let the car carry the pack. Now that is common sense. Well, there we are. 48 hours of fun, pain and pleasure. And my advice is, get yourself out here. It's beautiful. Pack your rucksack. Once you've got it packed, put it in the back of one of these. It's much easier.